And one of the most important things in life is knowing what to worry about. And I think worrying about trace residues of substances for which there's no evidence of any harm, I think that is a stressful business. I worry a great deal about the sugar in our diet. That is a very, very significant risk. Obesity is a major problem in North America. Obesity is clearly linked to diabetes, it is clearly linked to heart disease, and it's clearly linked to numerous kinds of cancer. I certainly worry about smoking. I think that we absolutely have to do something about that, even though we've had, of course, significant cutbacks. There still are millions of people in the world who die of smoking. We certainly have to worry about excessive alcohol consumption. Drunk drivers are an absolute tragedy in North America. Alcohol is one of those cases where a little bit may be good, but certainly twice as much is not 10 times better. Nothing can be proven to be safe. The only thing that science can do is measure risk versus benefit. There's massive information available on cosmetics, and it's an industry that is self-regulated, but it's very well self-regulated, and people do poke fun at that because they say, well, how can you trust an industry to regulate itself? But I think the motivation here is to make sure that they're selling safe products, because cosmetic manufacturers live under the Damocles sword of lawsuits, and they want to avoid that at any cost. They're scrupulous about what they put into their products. In my view, the cosmetic industry is very well regulated, both in Canada and in the US. In Canada, we actually have something called the hot list of chemicals that the government suggests be limited in cosmetics, and by and large, they go by that. The number of adverse reactions that get reported because of cosmetics are remarkably few, given the fantastic number of such products that are used. You are just as likely to be allergic to some compound that is found in nature as you are to a synthetic compound, because that's not what determines allergenicity. It's not whether a chemical was made by a chemist in a lab or by nature in a bush. What determines allergenicity is its molecular structure and what it is and what we know about it. So, I don't think that there's a safety problem with the natural cosmetics. Neither do I think that there's a safety problem with the others. Most people don't know that organic produce can have all kinds of pesticide residues, because there are dozens and dozens of pesticides that are allowed to be used in organic agriculture. It's just that they have to come from a natural source. Well, just because something is natural does not mean that it is better or safer than something that is synthetic. That's just not how chemistry works. And if one had to choose, organic agriculture would be the better alternative. But the question is, are you going to feed the pretty soon 10 billion people who are going to be coming to dinner organically? And there's never a simple solution to a problem, except ones that are proposed by the quacks. They are the ones who always have a simple answer. The bottled water business is one of the biggest scams that has ever been perpetrated, having convinced people that they need to pay for something that comes for free from the tap, and that they have to be permanently attached to a water bottle, otherwise they're going to dehydrate like a prune. So the industry has done a remarkable job on that, and we are wasting a lot of plastic on this. When you look at green products, you have to ask yourself the question, that I always said you ask is that a fact? And how do you know whether or not it's a fact? Where do you get your data? Where is the published literature? Why are you saying what you're saying? Can you prove it? What's the evidence?